Chapter 16, exercises. We are going to start with exercise 1. Make this a little bigger. All right. Carleon Company listed the following items in December 31st, 2018 financial statements. And we have investment in Man Company bonds for $25,000, dividends payable for preferred and common, preferred stock and common stock, additional paid in capital on preferred and common stock, and retained earnings. All right, let's see what to do. 2019, the following transactions occurred. February 2nd, paid the semi-annual dividends declared on December the 15th. Okay, so February 2nd. This is all in 2019. All right, we'll go look at the amounts in a minute. But we know we're paying a dividend. So when you pay a dividend, it's going to be the dividends payable is going to be debited. And I'm pretty sure they have preferred and common. And it's going to be a credit to cash. All right, so we need to go look at the amounts over here. $4,000 and $40,000. So 44 total. All right, March the 5th. Declared a property dividend payable to common shareholders on April 5th in Man Company bonds being held to maturity. The bonds, which have a book value of $25,000, have a current market value of $31,000. Okay, so we're going to have two entries here on this date of declaration. The first one, we need to increase our book value to current market value. So investment in Man Company bonds. And it needs to go up by 6. It's the 31 fair value minus the 25,000 book value. And we're going to have a gain on disposal for the 6. Then we recorded the dividend pretty much like any other dividend. So we're going to have a debit to retained earnings for the 31,000 and a credit to property dividends payable for 31,000. All right, April the 5th, we paid the property dividend. So we're going to debit property dividends payable and credit the investment. All right, July the 6th. Declared a $4 per share semi-annual cash dividend on preferred stock and a $1.10 per share and semi-annual dividend on common stock to be paid August the 17th. Okay, so I know I'm going to have a debit to retained earnings. And I know I'm going to have dividends payable to preferred stock and dividends payable to common stock. But I need to know how much. So let's go back over here. All right, so preferred stock, they told us they told us semi-annual. And so I'm assuming it's the same as this $4,000 up here, but let's calculate it out. All right, so the preferred stock one is going to be the $100,000 par times the 8%. And it's semi-annual, so then it's times 1/2. So our 4,000. All right, and then the common stock, we need to know how many shares are outstanding. So we have 40,000 is our total par, divided by $10 par per share. So we have 40,000 shares out. And then they're going to get, what, $1.10? Is that what it was? I'm a pain when they're not on the same page. They're going to receive $1.10. Oh. So they're getting $44,000. All right, August 17th, I paid that dividend. So dividends pay, you know what? Oh, dividends payable, preferred stock, dividends payable, common stock, and cash is going to be the credit. All right, October the 15th. Declared a 2% stock dividend on common stock to be issued on December the 3rd. Okay, so it's the same, well, kind of the same basic entry as all the rest. I'm going to debit retained earnings. And then I'm going to credit common stock to be distributed because I'm not actually giving it to them this second. And then paid in excess from stock dividends for whatever the difference is. All right, so to figure out my dividend, I have 40,000 shares times the 2%, and then times, since it's a small stock dividend, I'm going to multiply it by the market price per share, which is currently $22. And remember, I can use market price because it's a small stock dividend. All right, this number here is actually going to be how I got retained earnings. Okay, and then the stock to be distributed is going to be the additional shares, so the 40,000 times the 2%, and then times par value, and then the difference goes into paid in excess. All right, so this, oh, I'm so silly. Except this is par. All right, December the 3rd, is that what that is? I think it is. They issued this stock dividend. All right, so I issued this common stock right here. So I'm going to debit common stock to be distributed and credit common stock. Oops. And then I declared another semi-annual dividend on December 28th. Okay, now this entry is basically the same as this one up here because this was also a semi-annual dividend. So I'm just going to copy that down. But my numbers are going to be a little bit different because if you remember, I issued some additional shares of stock with this October stock dividend. All right, so my preferred is going to stay the same. All right, my preferred is still the $4,000. It's the common that's going to change. All right, so common stock outstanding after the dividend will be the $40,000 that we had originally, plus $40,000 times the 2%. Okay. So now I have 40,800 shares outstanding. So my dividend here for the common stock is going to be 40,800 shares times the $1.20. And just add those up. Okay, so those were just some basic journal entries for dividends. Not too terrible. I would know all of these. They're pretty straightforward. See you on the next one.